Subway has teamed up with Live Nation to bring you great food and great music for a great value. Right now, buy a Subway $5 footlong and get a Live Nation concert ticket for $5 to participating Live Nation shows like Nickelback, The Fray, and Crew Fest 2. Ticket price does not include fees. See store for details. Subway. Eat fresh. Eat fresh. The BS Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects.
First of all,
this is the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
It might be cool, I don't know. And if it's not, I don't care.
The BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons works for ESPN. He's also named the Sports Guy, and he writes a comical sports column. He must be a popular dude.
The BS Report.
It's got a real dirty sound, like a rusty steak knife cutting through a well-aged steak.
Now.
Here's Bill Simmons.
Welcome to the BS Report. Friday, heading into what should have been a big Sox-Yankees weekend. It's hard to have a big Sox-Yankees weekend when there's 10 games left in the season and the Red Sox are 5.5 games behind. Doesn't look good. I'm here with Joe House.
Hey-o.
Joe House is in town this weekend. He's going to be my co-host, my wingman. As we call our longtime buddy JackO, the biggest Yankee fan I know. He'll be in the Subway Fresh Take hotline. We call him pretty much every week during the baseball season. We're calling him right now.
Conflicts litigation, this is John.
Johnny.
Hey, what's up, Willie?
Well, it's about my least excited Johnny I could give you. Down 5.5 with 9 to play, 8 to play, 10 to play, whatever it is.
Well, yeah, the AL East is probably is safely in the Yanks column, I think.
Yeah,
Nothing,
but I was kind of
on wood, but they're going to make the Red Sox are going to make the wild card.
Starting this week, I was kind of hoping maybe we sweep the Royals and you drop a couple, and maybe we're like 3.5 back right now.
Yeah, I'd have been panicked. I'd have been out on the ledge answering the phone under this phone call if that happened.
Hey, I have a co-host for this podcast,
Hi.
our longtime friend Joe House.
Yeah, Johnny, I would have given you a much more robust welcome.
Why, thank you, House.
I would have been excited. You would have got something. Hey, Johnny! You would have got a good one out of me, but he wouldn't give me permission.
I offered.
He did offer.
House is barely awake. It's like 9 o'clock West Coast time.
I'm wide awake.
He doesn't know what's going on.
I've already been on the phone all morning.
He's been making business calls. Neither of us have showered, and now we're here. So, Johnny.
Yes.
So what if the Red Sox sweep?
What if they sweep? Well, they would still be, what is it in the loss column now? 4 or 5? 5, right?
Yeah, it's 5. We're 5.5 back.
So at 5 in the loss column. So if you swept, you'd still be 2 in the loss column, and the Yankees, after the series, host the self-same Kansas City Royals, and then go to Tampa Bay. So I wouldn't really be too worried about it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't feel good about it. Let's put it that way.
The Kansas City setup is pretty nice. We just went through it. Although I think
you split with them, though, right? Amazingly. Tim Wakefield, the corpse of Tim Wakefield, fell apart in that rain game. They had a big lead.
I think you missed Greinke.
Yeah, we do. He pitches on Sunday. I actually counted that yesterday. He pitches on Sunday, I think, on normal rest. So I'm very happy about that.
I wonder if the Red Sox sent the Royals like $45,000 if they'd hold Greinke for a day. Is that legal?
I don't think so. Oh, well, actually, when you own a commissioner like you do, I'm sure anything.
Oh, wow. Johnny.
I love it.
Come on, Johnny.
I'm just an innocent bystander to this, but I love it. I think it would take much less than $45,000, by the way.
But Felix probably will just call him and tell him to do it.
That's right. For the interest of the final pennant week, they probably should tell them to do it.
Yeah, really. It would make things interesting for baseball. All they have now is the AL Central race, if you can call it that.
Because Greinke's got one more start. Anyway, actually, no. So if he pitches Sunday,
then I guess again on like Friday or something.
Yeah, why couldn't they stretch him out? Come on, Royals, you got nothing to play for this season. Stretch him out.
Why not play spoiler?
You know, they made such a big fuss about Greinke's season. He's been really good. He's on a terrible team. He gets no support. But so I was like, I looked at his stats. He's thrown more innings this season than I think Pedro did in 99 and 2000.
Really?
But when was the last time you looked at Pedro's stats from 99 and 2000? It's really like absolutely staggering.
He was so freaking good. It's amazing.
There's one, I'm doing it top of my head, but it was something like 207 innings, 160 base runners, 290 Ks, something like that.
I remember that Yankees game where he struck out like 16 guys or whatever it was. I mean, he was absolutely unhittable.
And then when you throw in the part where basically everybody cheating at that point.
Yeah, that too. When you factor that in, it's really amazing.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
It's absurd.
Well.
What? You think people are cheating now?
Well, no.
You think he was cheating?
Oh, Johnny.
Oh, come on, House. That's not fair.
Well, he did play with...
who's to say...
Jimmy, turn off his headphone.
Who's to say the playing field wasn't level? That's all I'm saying. How do we know it wasn't a level playing field?
He did play with known cheaters, David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez, so, you know...
Yeah, but not 99 and 2000.
No, Big Papi wasn't there, you're right. Oh, and actually Manny wasn't there yet. I mean, wasn't there yet either, was he?
No, Manny hadn't...
I rescind those comments then.
Manny hadn't been there until 01. I mean, I wouldn't write off Pedro for that entire era because I do think in 02, 03 he did put on weight. So, but in 99, 00 he was like, as skinny as a piece of paper.
Right.
There's just no way.
That's right.
Waif-like, yeah.
Yeah. 03 wouldn't shock me. Believe me, I've looked at that 03 roster and done the yes-no for every guy in the team. And you could talk me into 20 guys on that team, potentially. I'm not even kidding. You talk me into 20 out of the 25. But Pedro 99-00, I don't think any way. And I think as the years pass and we realize that basically every hitter was doing it, except for like 3 guys, that those stats are going to become more and more unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it is impressive when you factor that in, absolutely. And the smaller ballparks and everything else.
Yeah.
Future generations, and they might even juice the balls a little bit, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's possible.
House and I were talking last night, not to turn this into a steroids witch hunt podcast, but would Cal Ripken shock you?
No.
We were trying to come up with a name from kind of this era.
Everyone's played this game, yeah. The most, if we did a fantasy draft of the most shocking guys from 90 to 2008, who would blow you away the most? I said Jeter.
Yeah, Jeter would. Yeah, I would be shocked
Jeter
by that.
won't even get involved in a base brawl because he doesn't want to disappoint his parents. You think he's going to try to do steroids? He's all about not disappointing the parents.
I would love it if it came out that Cal Ripken did it because every middle-aged sports writer, like people, they would just resign. They couldn't even write about it. I mean, no one is more like revered by middle-aged sports writers than Cal Ripken. Maybe Tiger Woods, but Cal Ripken's up there. Like they would just be like, I mean, just mass hysteria in newsrooms everywhere. I would love that.
I don't feel super compelled to, sort of come to his defense because I swore off the Orioles in 97.
Yeah. Right.
But he didn't there are none of the telltale signs with him.
No.
His body didn't noticeably change.
He didn't have a great homer season.
Exactly. I mean, he
That's
did
true.
have sort of one aberrational season in 91 power-wise, but it was in the context of he'd hit, homers like that earlier in his career, so...
I just say, like, we talked about, the old Tyson zone. I always talk about it. And the Delonte West thing when he had the motorcycle, he had 3 guns on him.
Yeah.
I didn't read that story thinking, oh, my God, this is the craziest thing I ever heard. I had more of a reaction of, oh, Delonte, come on. Like, I'm not actually shocked by the facts of the story. If it came out that Ripken, late in the strike, dabbled in something, I wouldn't like keel over like Larry David did when he found out about Loretta's cancer. I wouldn't do the swoon and fall over.
The name that I said was Tony Gwynn.
Yeah, that's a good one. That would be shocking.
Yeah, because he just got fatter.
I was going to say, unless steroids came in pizza, I don't think we have to worry about Tony. Unless they came in pizza form or deep fried, I don't think we have to worry about Tony Gwynn.
Maddox, I would be pretty blown away by.
Yeah, that's a good one. Again, he didn't really throw that hard, though, so you wouldn't really suspect it.
We should come up with a team, a whole team of guys.
Clean guys?
Who would the catcher be? Jason Kendall?
Yeah.
First base, Mark Grace.
I'm trying to think of like
10 homers.
I'm trying to think of like some guy that was like super like religious or role model. Cal Ripken's pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty good one. Like you know.
But I'd still take Jeter over Ripken as the shortstop.
Yeah,
That's hateful.
What?
Why would you do that?
Because Jeter wouldn't do it. He won't. I mean, you saw JackO and I talked about this last week when there was that fight recently. He was right next to it just going, hey.
Come on, guys.
Come on, hey.
Can't we all just get along?
He's so uptight.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Jeter did it. course, I'm a Yankee fan and I'm biased, so what else am I going to say?
What about Mariano Rivera?
Yeah, that would be a pretty shocking one. I mean, he's like a religious
right?
guy, and that's a good one, and like quiet, unassuming, like role model-esque. Yeah, I would be surprised if he did it. That would be shocking. Yeah. Back to the Delonte West thing. Like, what are you thinking about when you put a shotgun in a guitar case and drive on 3 guns on a motorcycle?
Yeah.
I mean, just the logistics of it are fascinating to me. I wish there was photos.
I think he was playing Grand Theft Auto and kind of just got lost in the moment.
Mind.
He just got lost in the moment. It can happen. He grew up in the video game era.
Wasn't there some movie, like a Quentin Tarantino movie with Antonio Banderas, like El Mariachi, and he had like a guitar and a gun? Maybe he just watched that movie and he was going out for a ride. I
want to know what happened to the guitar. He's like, man, I got to hide this gun. Oh, guitars. I just left the guitar, where?
Didn't the AP story refer to it as El Mariachi style?
Oh, did they really?
One of the very first stories said El Mariachi.
I wish there should be, if the NBA wants to raise money for some of the struggling teams, they should have a webcam in Stern's office at all times so we could see his reaction to stories like this.
It's a pay-per-view.
David, I have some bad news. Just him steam coming out of his ears.
I would pay $10 for a pay-per-view to see Stern's reaction to that.
All proceeds go to the Grizzlies. Yeah, they could just put it on NBA.com.
Yeah.
Here's for $9.99. David Stern reacts to the Delonte West news.
Wait, 3 guns? Guitar case? What?
Motorcycle? What was lost in that whole thing was that he was riding a motorcycle. Like, no professional athlete should ever ride a motorcycle.
Well, a lot of them have it in their contract.
It's a 3-wheeler. You have to look it up. It was a special thing. I'm serious.
Really?
It's crazy space-age looking. Yeah, it was a 3-wheeler motorcycle.
Do you think he watched some of the stuff that Ron Artest did this summer and thought, I've got to top this? I'm losing my status as the possibly craziest guy in the league.
If you're going to have like a pimped out motorcycle and you want to carry guns, you probably should have some sort of a case built into it, no?
A case for
guns? For the gun on the motorcycle.
So you have to wear one in your waistband and on your ankle?
Like a saddlebag or something, right? Well, some place to hold your guns.
The Cleveland Brian Windhorst story about it insinuated that he had reason to carry the guns. There was a fear of his safety for some reason. Did not elaborate, but it made me think, why would Delonte West have fear for his own safety?
That's right.
What kind of crowd is he running in at this point? He makes $5 million a year. What is he hanging out with those kind of people for?
There's no good answer to why he would have a reason to fear for his safety.
I think, if you fear for your safety, though, I don't know that a gun in a guitar case is going to be that accessible while driving down the highway. Like, if somebody comes upon you, like a drive-by type situation, you want to fire back.
Guitar case?
You got to reach behind you and get the guitar case. It's awkward.
That would only be if he needed the extra firepower. He had the one on his ankle. The ankle holster for that for a drive-by. You got to map this out.
I like how we're breaking this down like John Madden style with the television.
Yeah, they didn't do this on SportsCenter. Plus, if you're riding the motorcycle and you have the guns, you'd have to pull over the motorcycle to even get one of the guns. So it's not like
not if it's a 3-wheeler, you could probably
still
balance it.
You have one hand for and then you have your pistol hand.
Imagine if he shot somebody on the 3-wheeler motorcycle. Police are looking for a 6'5" guy with a neck tattoo who shot somebody in a 3-wheeler.
Yeah,
that's bad.
It's not funny, but it's certainly odd.
I'm going to go here.
I just laughed 5 minutes about it.
I'm disappointed.
I'm going to go here with a generalization. If you get a neck tattoo, I think you're just in the Tyson zone immediately.
Yeah, when you get the neck tattoo, you're just saying to society, I'm all set, I'm out, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I am a lunatic, and that's it.
Right.
To be fair, since I'm from the D.C. area and he's from the D.C. area, he had a neck tattoo, and it was kind of a given one. It was a very crude one that over time, as he's had success, he tried to sort of, resolve.
Rectify?
Yeah, because it was a little bit of a, the one he gave himself in high school was. It
was a homemade one?
Yeah, it was homemade.
I hate when my homemade tattoos go awry.
Yeah, I remember in college I gave myself a couple homemade ones. And they just went terrible.
When you get the neck tattoo, you're pretty much saying, I don't think I'm ever going to be interviewing with a Fortune 500 company. It's really what you're saying. Not a lot of interviews start out, like a job interview. Tell me about your neck tattoo. That's interesting.
That and appearing on MTV and trying to do a spelling bee. Those are the two things that are probably...
Yeah, those are two disqualifiers.
Those could be two limiting factors.
There's probably some more, but I think those are the two.
That's a big two right there.
Joe House is playing with his balls like... He's still playing with the balls?
I just have my hand.
All right.
In any event.
Let's keep
I'm surprised he's not on his BlackBerry while conducting this podcast.
It's right here.
Excellent. I knew it wouldn't be far away.
It's off to the side.
We're both checking our BlackBerries as we talk.
I tried to tone it down. I was worried about you, and I'm so excited about the three-way.
Yeah, it's a menage a pod.
Yeah.
It's been. We did one before, right?
Yeah. It was just a short one. You guys surprised me.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Johnny.
Yes.
You went to U2.
I did.
On Sunday night. I got to I tweeted yesterday about how Rattle and Hum was on and House and I were dissecting it and whether it was a practical joke on America by U2 or it was a practical joke by America on U2. It's either one or the other. And some people responded like, dude, lay off U2. Nobody from my generation cares. It's over. Like,
really?
Do you think U2 is to us what the Rolling Stones were to us in college when people liked the Rolling Stones and we were like, really?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
it's kind of depressing.
The crowd, there was not a lot of 20-somethings at the concert, let me put it that way. It was definitely an older crowd there, but, you know.
It was an aging group?
It was an aging group. And I have to give a shout-out to your friend Ben that works for you, too, who hooked my wife and I up with some wristbands that allowed us close access to the stage down on the floor.
That was nice of you. So you could see the Edge's ponytail dangling?
I could, yeah.
From up close?
Edge didn't have a ponytail, I don't think. He had on some kind of a hat. My wife got a really good picture with her cell phone of the Edge. The Edge, and they had like this outer circular stage, and we were allowed to go like stand right next to that. And they had like a bridge from the main stage, and they would walk out to the outer circle. And the Edge and Adam Clayton were really close, like within 5 feet of us at various points, but Bono never ventured over to our side. That was disappointing.
Yeah. I'm not going to venture over to that side.
I'm not sure that the Edge has hair anymore, by the way. I think that's
he just wears hats all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things we loved about Rattle and Hum is it really nails U2 at a bad hair stage for everybody.
Yes.
It was a bad hair stage, a bad style stage, the sleeveless vest. I mean, the shirtless vest.
How about the tank top with the suspenders?
That wasn't a good look. The drummer, for some reason, looked exactly like Andres Biedrins, who hadn't even had a professional NBA career yet. And then and Bono's hair, I don't know what was going on with.
Yeah,
it just
right.
Yeah.
Rattle and Hum, it should have been like the tagline should have been like, if you thought we were pretentious before, just wait.
Well, what's funny is that it was like their attempt to kind of understand and embrace America.
Yeah, exactly.
But what they embraced was basically Martin Luther King.
Right.
Elvis.
Yeah.
B.B. King.
And yet they didn't embrace anything that was actually like relevant to America at that specific time.
No, it was
like
all
they
like
went toward Elvis.
Yeah.
But really, like Michael Jackson was the biggest star in America at that time.
That's right. They went for the two old kings and ignored the young king.
They ignored him.
Yes.
Which made me think, like, if somebody had talked to them and said, hey, guys, you're actually, you're dating yourself a little with some of these American things. Like, what if we go see Prince?
Yeah.
That could have led to a scene with Bono interacting with Prince, which would have redefined everything that we've ever believed in.
A Saturday Night Live skit come to life, yeah.
I love Prince, and I don't think there's been nearly enough Prince.
No, Prince should do
interviews.
Like
he should have interviews all the time. Like Prince is kind of in the Tyson zone.
Yeah,
he changed his name to a symbol.
You sent around that video of him at a James Brown show.
Oh yeah, it just killed it.
But it was very hard to follow what was going on there.
Oh yeah, he's just there's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame video after George Harrison dies where they play While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yeah,
and it's like Tom Petty and George Harrison's son, he's involved, and like a bunch. And then Prince comes in halfway through and just decides he's going to destroy everybody. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's fantastic, and they just kind of give way to him because he's like in the zone. You forget what a great.
He's a savant.
He's really one of the greatest guitarists of all time. Never gets credit for that.
No, he's an amazing performer.
Yeah, I won't say the same for George Harrison's son. In fact, I'd like to. Has this ever happened? Has any son ever turned out to be a good musician of a famous musician? Ever happened once?
That's a good one.
Because I'll try. I mean, I guess Jacob Dylan's
I was going to say he's probably the most successful one, right?
Sean Lennon.
No.
I understand that, but he tried.
Julian Lennon?
It's really like the similarities between that and athletes are pretty overwhelming.
Good point. Well, it's hard to
athletes, the son of athletes never make it except for Ken Griffey Jr. is really the only one I could think of.
It's like Michael Jordan said to his kids, I wouldn't want to be you guys.
Yeah. What a dad. Sorry I can't be there for your birthday. I'm at the Borgata. What a dad. Yeah, those kids are surprisingly well adjusted for what it would be like to have him as a dad for a variety of reasons.
He seems like a good guy.
Hey, Dad, when do I get to come to a casino? When you're 21, son. When you're 21. That's when we'll start hanging out, my friend.
Now go get Uncle Charles Oakley another soda.
Now go mix Oka Mojito. Did you guys... I don't know if we talked about it. Did you see the Hall of Fame speech, House?
Oh, yeah. I watched it.
Did you watch the whole Hall of Fame thing?
No, I didn't see the whole broadcast. I saw bits and pieces, and I watched the Jordan speech a couple times on the YouTubes.
The underrated thing about the Jordan speech was that it followed Robinson's obviously very family-oriented and religious and really nice speech.
Yeah.
And then Stockton had a really, really good speech. And it was just like a nice family, good times vibe. And then Jordan comes up. It just starts killing everybody. It was great.
My God.
He looked funny to me, too.
Yeah, he looked...
There's something going on with his eyes. He was either crying or something else was going on.
I liked his girlfriend. She had a good performance.
he was either emotional or they had a pre-speech open bar. And I'm leaning toward the latter. Yeah, his girlfriend... they never really delved into that. She looked like she had a little Latino blood.
I forgot. I think she's from Cuba. I read about her after the fact because I didn't watch. I was out someplace and it was on in the background on a TV, and everyone was like, "Whoa, who's the woman there with Michael Jordan?" That was the universal reaction.
Yeah.
And then I read about it after the fact, and I Googled her to see if there was maybe some more images I could learn more about her. And I think it said she was Cuban-born or Cuban descent or something. I can't remember her name at the moment, but yeah, good work by Mike.
Do you think her name had 2 N's in it?
2 N's?
It was like Jen with 2 N's, but the Cuban version of that?
I think so, yeah, yeah.
Juanita?
Maria with 2 eyes?
Diana or something with 2 N's.
I think it would be, if you're a 30-year-old Cuban, actually she's probably younger, like late 20s.
Yeah, probably.
MJ would be a nice guy to date for about a year.
All right, I'm actually going to Google this in the background. Talk amongst yourselves.
I would think the number, if I'm in that circle of I'm a hot former model and I could go after celebrity, maybe ride the train for a year, I think Clooney would be my number 1 pick.
Oh, yeah.
Female. Because he's got like that compound in Italy. You'd be like, hey, we're going to go to Italy and go hang out in my compound.
Well, you could go to Italy and say, I'll stay here and I'll just see you when you come around.
Oh, that's true.
Right, if you're
George,
the girlfriend.
Yeah.
You come see me, George. I'll be here.
I'll watch the compound.
Simbo, you were close. She has 2 T's in her name. Her name is Yvette Prieto, Prieto.
Oh.
Yvette with 2 E's?
No, 2 T's.
2 T's?
Yvette.
Oh, but that's a common spelling.
Yeah,
of it,
I think that's how you spell Yvette.
Yeah.
She should add a 3rd T.
Or a 2nd V.
Yvette.
Yeah.
I also think it would be fun to date Jeter.
Oh, yeah.
As a lot of people have.
a little too excitedly.
Yeah, Johnny, settle down, buddy.
Wouldn't it? Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because with Jeter also, he's traveling the whole time. So he could be like, hey, I'm in Texas. I'll fly you out. I think that'd be a good thing if you're a celebrity girlfriend, the whole flying out part.
Oh, yeah.
I'll fly you out. I'm in Phoenix for 3 days. I got your first class ticket. Come on out. We have a penthouse suite. That'd be a good deal.
Yeah, that'd be a great deal.
Here's what the Chicago Tribune said about Michael Jordan's girlfriend. Prieto has previously been spotted with the Bulls legend at NBA All-Star Weekend in Phoenix in February, and again in May when she and Jordan wore color-coordinated outfits to the Kentucky Derby. The Cuban model once dated singer Julio Iglesias Jr.
Ooh.
In January 2003, Iglesias opened up about his relationship with Prieto in a cover story for Spanish publication Hola, saying what I like most about her, besides her beauty, which jumps out at you, is her humbleness. I'm happy when I'm at her side. Not anymore, Julio.
I have two
she's
things.
Believed to be in her early 30s.
Ah.
I have two things. The first is Julio Iglesias doesn't really count as a boyfriend for reasons that...
Junior?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simmons and I talked about this yesterday. Corolla has a theory.
Oh, this is the Corolla theory.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal his theory since he downed my podcast. So Corolla has this whole theory about people in California, that these guys that just do an incredible amount of business in California, they're always like these wispy 5'7" guys with bad hair, like Jason Schwartzman or Jared Leto.
Yeah.
And he has a theory that the reason people hook up with these guys all the time is that they're non-threatening.
True.
It's like half a hookup.
It's not only non-threatening, but it's sort of non-impactful as well.
And it's one of those deals where, like, if you hooked up with, I don't know, Jeff Goldblum, he's 6'4".
Yeah.
That's a hookup. You're like, yeah. I hooked up with Jeff Goldblum.
Right.
But if you're hooking up with David Spade, he's 5'2". It's like you wake up the next morning like, did I have sex last night? I can't. Did something happen? Like, it's non-threatening, and you kind of fall into it. It's like, what the hell? He's a little. It's not physically. I'm not intimidated in any way, and Kroll is convinced that that's why these little wispy guys do so well. It's interesting.
Could be.
Yeah.
And you think that theory holds true for Julio Iglesias Jr.?
Well, I think I think
it works for Yvette Prieto.
Well, not anymore.
No, that's it. She went.
But she went the complete opposite direction. Then she went from Julio Iglesias Jr. to Michael Jordan.
Well, she's a little older now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Here's some sad news about Yvette Prieto. She filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in 2002.
Oh, no.
I don't think she has those problems any longer.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
The whole Jordan thing with Juanita was always strange, too, because she was older than him. I think she had dated, like, Horace Grant or somebody before him, and there was always a story that, let's just say, the pregnancy happened before the wedding. I think that's pretty much common knowledge.
Well, that's kind of related to the second thing I was going to ask. Why would Michael Jordan have a girlfriend?
Why wouldn't he, or why
would he?
Yeah, why settle down with one, you mean?
Yeah.
With one woman.
Right.
He should pull the Jeter or George Clooney and play the field for a while.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, that's a good point, too.
I mean, you have his means.
Yeah.
I don't see what he gets out of having a girlfriend.
Maybe it becomes empty after a while. Maybe he needs companionship.
Maybe he just wants someone to talk to, share his feelings with.
Maybe he wants somebody to show the chips to at the end of the day. Look at this. I made $500,000. You ever seen yellow chips like this before?
He needs someone to help him carry the chips.
I mean, for him, it really might come down to just that she's good luck when he gambles.
Yeah, maybe.
I would not be shocked. And that she knows how to make good mojitos.
If he goes on a losing streak, she'll be out the door faster than you can say Julio Iglesias Jr.
That's right. Maybe she's expert at craps, expert dice thrower.
No, he doesn't do craps.
Oh.
This podcast has really come full circle now with this discussion of Julio Iglesias Jr. because that goes back to our earlier point about singers who are sons of singers or children of singers. Does he count?
Oh, good one.
Beautiful. It's a good point.
Yeah.
The symmetry is amazing in this production.
And I can't name one Julio Iglesias Jr. song.
No, me either. But I'm sure he's popular.
Well, can you name a Julio Iglesias Senior song?
Yeah, I can. For all the kids I loved before. That was a big one. Hey, Johnny, we went to the Feast of San Gennaro last night.
Oh, really?
Which was fantastic, and I urge everyone in the L.A. area to go this weekend if you want to just eat food and see weird celebrities. Stared at Ed Lauder for a good 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, Ed Lauder was there. And he's not Italian, which was the weird part to me, unless he's like half or something.
Well, they didn't have an Italian requirement. You didn't have to, show your ID card when we got there.
Yeah, but in the early days of the feast, it used to be people like the guy who played Johnny Fontaine in Goodfellas, like the guy who played Billy Batts. I mean, in Godfather, the guy who played Billy Batts in Goodfellas, like people like that. And now it seems like they've embraced people of all ethnicities.
It's good.
It's wonderful.
House had a disappointing eating performance, though.
Really?
He had a meatball. He had 2 pieces of pizza. He had a half sausage sub. He had a calzone.
I had the penne pasta.
He had penne pasta, a little one. These are all like, smaller portions.
Small bite, plates.
And then and then he had a cannoli, and he had a Zeppeli.
And then I had an ice cream cone on the way home.
Oh, yeah. I guess it wasn't
good.
disappointing.
I was going to say, you're rattling off a lot of stuff there. That sounds anything but disappointing.
It wasn't anything like his breakfast performance, though.
Did you tell him to take the gun but leave the cannoli, or vice versa?
No.
Did you say that? No.
No, I did not. So, Johnny, I turned 40 this week.
Yes, happy birthday. When's the actual day?
Well, it's today.
Today's your actual birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Happy birthday.
It's me and Catherine Zeta-Jones. We both turned 40 today.
Whoa.
The difference is that I actually turned 40, and I think she turned like 46. But yeah, it hurts a little to have her the same exact birthday as her.
It does.
She was 40 like 10 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I'm 40, and so's Catherine Zeta-Jones. And then I say her, and it's like, she's not 40. She looks like she's 50.
Right, exactly.
But, yeah, the other one, I think Ken Griffey. He was always, you always had, he's not my exact birthday, but you always had those athletes that when they were like 19, you're like, oh yeah, that guy's right near my birthday. And then as he gets older and he starts to lose it, you're measuring yourself by the athlete, and then it starts to get depressing. So when he was hitting 200 this year, I was like, yeah, that's a symbol of my life.
That's you.
Ken Griffey just struck out again. There I am. Attaboy, Junior. You guys don't have athletes like that?
No, I don't think there's any athletes. The only athlete that has my birthday is Jose Canseco, but he's 6 years older than me.
Oh.
Yeah, and I have no idea.
Well, that's nice that at least you share a birthday with the Woodward and Bernstein of the
baseball. I share a birthday with what's her name? Lindsay Lohan. Somehow appropriate.
Yeah, you guys have a lot.
Johnny, look up who do I share a birthday with? I have no idea. Look up May 12th.
May 12th.
Yeah.
All right.
It's got to be everybody's got at least one famous person on their birthday.
I just have no idea.
Well, since it's my birthday,
yes.
I think you guys should come up with your top 5 favorite moments ever involving me in the last 22 years that you've known me.
I mean,
There's no way the listeners won't be fascinated by
I have 5 that pop right to mind that are not, there's no possible way we could discuss these over the airwaves.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we discuss them, and then we'll decide afterwards to edit them out.
Let me think about it for a second. You
have 5 that can't be discussed?
I don't know if they can't be discussed, but they all involve potentially criminal behavior or,
statute of limitations may not
behavior involving women that aren't your wife. Or,
yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, here's who has celebrity birthdays with Joe House. May 12th. Lost actor Malcolm David Kelly. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
American Pie actor Jason Biggs.
Nice.
Fact of Life star Kim Fields, born on the exact same day as you.
Tootie! Yeah, that's nice.
Skateboard phenom Tony Hawk.
Oh, this is an action-packed birthday.
Tony Hawk is a good one.
Actor Stephen Baldwin.
Nice.
Actress-singer Vanessa Williams. Emilio Estevez.
Wow.
Usual Suspect actor Gabriel Byrne, who was not Kaiser Soze. Singer-songwriter Billy Squier. Stroke Me.
Yeah.
So you have Stroke Me, you have a guy who had sex with a pie, and you had the Miss America who appeared in Penthouse playing with herself. Congratulations, House.
And Tootie.
Bruce Boxleitner. Katharine Hepburn. And New York Yankees Hall of Famer Yogi Berra. That's a great birthday.
That's a good list.
As well as George Carlin.
Look up September 25th.
All right.
This is fun.
It's not a bad time.
That's a really good, you had a lot of good celebs there.
Yeah, that was a nice list.
The listeners right now are so disappointed you're not going to tell the 5 terrible things about me. And frankly, I'm glad you won't. So.
Oh, Simbo, you have the same birthday as rapper T.I.
Nice.
Queer as folk actor Hal Sparks.
How does that make a list?
Entrapment actress Catherine Zeta-Jones. Will Smith, a year older than you.
Oh,
wow,
the Fresh Prince.
That's a good one.
That's a nice one.
That's a big one.
That's the best one yet.
Yeah.
Oh, Sopranos actress Ida Turturro.
Oh, she was Janice.
What's her name? Janice.
Yeah.
Heather Locklear.
Wow.
You have the Fresh Prince and Heather Locklear?
Just think, if I had dated Heather Locklear, we would have had a double birthday party every year.
Here's the best one.
I would have had 5 more stories.
Happy Days actor Anson Williams. Patsy. Oh, Christopher Reeve. Mark Hamill.
Wow, a lot of accidents.
I'm your father.
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones have the same birthday?
Barbara Walters.
That's weird.
Both of you have... Oh, Barbara Walters, William Faulkner, and both of you with birthdays of famous Yankees because, Simbo, you share the birthday of Phil Scooter Rizzuto. The Scooter.
That's
Holy
exciting.
cow.
He's dead. do yours now.
I'll do mine.
July 2nd.
This is exciting. I know I share it with Thurgood Marshall, Polly Holiday, who played Flo on Alice.
Wow.
Lindsay Lohan, all the greats.
And he had one more, too.
I think, let's see. Let me see.
Jose Canseco.
Jose Canseco.
We got to do Joe Mead after this, just because this might be the most excited Joe Mead's ever been on the podcast.
Okay, I share a birthday with Lindsay Lohan, Ashley Tisdale, the Wreckers singer Michelle Branch, actress Yancy Butler, same year as me, actress, model, and Mick Jagger's girlfriend Jerry Hall. Oh, Larry David is the same birthday as me. That's pretty
beautiful.
That's a good one.
Ron Silver, actress Polly Holiday. And
the late Ron Silver, by the way.
Oh, that's right, the late Ron Silver.
His father's the district attorney!
Polly Holiday and somebody named actor Brock Peters, who I don't know. Mine's the worst.
Brock Peters was a generic that guy, but a black guy in the mid-'70s who was on, he'd be on Streets of San Francisco one week and he'd be on Charlie's Angels the next week.
Yeah,
don't ask me why I know that.
My birthday stinks. No great Yankee Hall of Famers. It's an outrage.
Joe Mead.
What's Joe Mead's birthday?
March 11.
March 11.
No, it's my friend's birthday, too. Let's see.
Joe Mead's birthday. Morrissey.
Let's see.
Come on, we need a random singer like Morrissey.
Actress Thora Birch.
Nice. You know, her mom was a porn actress who appeared in Deep Throat.
Really?
Yeah, it was a hidden Thora Birch fact. Yeah.
Good Charlotte twins Joel and Benji Madden. Johnny Knoxville. Lisa Loeb. Pantera drummer Vinnie Paul. God, what do you have to be a celebrity in this?
I don't like
Pantera's
the way this is going.
Joe Mead, this is terrible.
It's a bad list.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy author Douglas Adams.
Oh, my God, Joe Mead.
Bobby McFerrin.
Give him a famous Yankee, for Christ's sake.
Make somebody up. Joe Mead's going to be depressed.
Tex-Mex accordionist Flaco Jimenez was born on that day in 1939. And bandleader Lawrence Welk. That's a rough one.
Joe Mead.
Now, Bobby McFerrin and Lisa Loeb and Johnny Knoxville. That's a rough crew right there.
Oh, poor Joe Mead. I'm sorry, Joe Mead.
Sorry, Joe.
It's all right. Check it in 10 years, and if I'm there.
Seriously, I think after you read that list, I think BS Report producer Joe Mead, I think could have qualified.
You're at least as famous as the Pantera drummer.
Seriously.
You're as famous as Vinnie Paul, Pantera's drummer. There's no question.
I would put, if we did the Pepsi Challenge of the Pantera drummer versus Joe Mead, I think Joe Mead wins.
I think so.
I mean, seriously, we're getting 200,000 downloads per podcast or something. How many people even know the Pantera drummer's name?
Yeah, can any of you, how's your big music guy? Can you name one Pantera song?
No.
Of course not.
Right.
Nobody can.
Joe Mead is famous enough that after the Bills collapsed to the Pats, I did get some emails wondering if Joe is going to be downtrodden for the rest of the BS Report week. So there you go, Joe.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll make that list, buddy. You're already on the list of the worst bachelor party that ever happened.
Is that Jonas Brothers one happened yet?
Well, the Jonas Brothers hasn't happened yet. I'm still holding out hope that one of them just goes crazy and ends up getting a hooker or something.
And
one of them will snap. There's 3, that means one will snap.
Yeah.
Didn't
one of them's got to go off the rails.
Did Odom cancel his bachelor party?
He did. I read that in the paper this morning.
He canceled it?
Yeah. It said he was just going to have a quiet thing with no paparazzi or something.
Joe Mead, that's a great segue because, in my opinion, this Lamar Odom-Khloe Kardashian relationship is the single most significant thing that's happened in this NBA offseason.
Really?
Well, I mean, seriously. So the Lakers win the title. They lose Trevor Ariza, who was their glue guy, their best defender, shot 50% from 3, didn't care about stats, just wanted to fit in, getting better, younger, athletic, great on fast breaks. They replace him with Artest, or as I like to call him, the Melee, which I think is a nickname that hasn't caught on but should, who's a lunatic, who's even changed his Twitter account 3 times. He's so crazy. I mean, who changes their Twitter account 3 times? He's a 3 Twitter... and then now they've added Khloe Kardashian, the black sheep Kardashian.
That's a train wreck. But the odds of them still being married by the time the NBA season starts are like slim and none. I mean, they've known each other a month and they're getting married. Isn't it just to promote her show or something? I mean, it's a farce.
Well, the part I don't get is that this is somebody, Khloe Kardashian, who has struggled with weight issues for her entire life. She's now marrying a guy who's addicted to candy.
Yeah, there's going to be candy all over the house.
There's going to be candy everywhere. I mean, she might gain 100 pounds before the All-Star break. Which means they'll have to get her like one of those triple XL Laker or Odom jerseys to wear during the games. If I'm a Laker fan, I don't like anything about this summer.
It's a rough one.
And I know I'm accused of being biased against the Lakers, but seriously, how can you have a guy who started the biggest melee in the history of professional basketball and the daughter of OJ's best friend. Those have been your two acquisitions this year.
I mean, I'm not going to come to LA's defense because I don't care. But
you think she's going to be like in Sports Illustrated when they do the team capsules and the NBA preview, like additions and subtractions?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Khloe Kardashian's going to be one of the additions.
I think she should. I think she gives them some size in the front line.
Now, is Kim Kardashian, now is she back with Reggie Bush, or that we're not sure about that? Because she would have to move on to some other athlete now that her sister's stolen her thunder.
They're done.
They're done.
She's with somebody else.
She needs to get up to Minnesota to get with Adrian Peterson or something.
Well, the other part that's weird is that, if you're going to do the Dion Phaneuf, Sean Avery, Elisha Cuthbert, sloppy seconds potential saga that could happen. So Khloe Kardashian, her previous NBA boyfriend, Rashard McCants.
Oh, really?
McCants. Yeah. So now I don't even know, I think he's on Sacramento now, but every time him and Odom are on the court, they have a little sloppy seconds potential.
Absolutely.
The more we talk about this, the more convinced that I am that what you said was right, which is that there's an economic interest for Odom in this. He's making the money on that he lost by signing a bad contract by this
he's getting a lot more
unholy alliance.
For sure.
By helping Khloe Kardashian's career.
There's some kind of Q rating element to this. I think it's purely economic.
Well, he's more well known now. Look what it did. Look what that guy Hank Baskett, the receiver for the Colts now. Nobody ever heard of him before, and now he's got like a reality show out of the deal.
That's true.
What would have been funny is like one of Odom's friends, if Odom's like, yeah, I'm dating one of the Kardashians, like, which one, Kim? No. Courtney? No. Oh, well, she seems nice.
I'm going to say this, and Joe, this may come out. It's a white girl with a big butt. So what's the problem? What's the difference? Does it matter? Like, which one? Are there really rankings? Oh, it's not Kim. Oh, it's not, who cares?
I think for my birthday, Joe Mead has to leave that in.
The BS report is a mature conversation or whatever.
About big asses.
Touching on some mature subjects, like the Kardashians' asses.
I can't wait. I mean, here would be my idea of NBA Nirvana. So KG comes back, and his knee's fine, even though they're being very cryptic about everything, and I still think the surgery was... Actually, I kind of know the surgery was a lot more complicated than they're letting on. But KG's back. They're running on all cylinders. KG Rashid. We go into L.A., jump out to like a 64-54 lead in the third quarter. They're cutting a commercial, and they cut to Khloe Kardashian in the stands, who's now 50 pounds heavier, applauding with a hot dog, trying to get the team. But she's not applauding the team; she's applauding the hot dog guy that's coming over. And every Laker fan goes, "Oh no!" They're just so bummed out. I mean, they won the title last year, but so whatever. I also remain dubious that Kobe, who now has his title, got it. It's in the bank. Got the Shaqless title.
He's not going to be as hungry.
Well, no. I mean, I think he's now thinking about maybe, if this is old Kobe mentality, maybe he's just thinking about, all right, I'm going to go for my stats again.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a legacy guy. Yeah. Well, yeah. Not only the repeat element, but also, the number 6. That's MJ's number. The number is 6. I think he...
Oh, that's interesting, House. I like that call. That's right. Yeah, he wants to match MJ, so yeah, maybe... But if he got to 6, well, then he'd want to be... Yeah, you're right. Maybe he won't be stat guy.
The thing he's fighting is the thing you talked about a couple times last year.
The mileage.
Which is the mileage, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's played probably an almost unprecedented amount of professional basketball for
for his age.
Yeah, for his age.
I'm going to look this up because I do want to write about this for the NBA preview, but he's got to be at about 1,200 games now, I'm thinking. Because he's been in the league for 13 years. There's strike season. He missed some games.
But the Olympics.
Early 0-0s. He did the Olympics.
And those World Games.
But also and this is what happened to KG, and I think this is what's going to happen to Duncan. These guys are in the era of 2.5-month playoff seasons. So if your team does well, you're playing 100 games in that season. And that's what he did the last two. I think he played something like 210 combined games in 18 months. Not even counting exhibition, not even counting Olympics.
Yeah.
That's just, and plus he's going as hard as he can. He's not like Vince Carter where he's like, Sacramento, I'm in the middle of the sin. Like, he tries 100% every game.
No college mileage, though.
No college mileage. But on the other hand, you're only playing 30 games a year in college, and his first year he played 82.
Yeah, I don't think there's any comparison. I mean, that college mileage, the travel alone.
What's going to be fascinating about these next 5 years is the first generation of NBA guys now in their early mid-30s who have a different sort of career arc than we're used to.
Which is college then pro?
Which is either 1 year or no year of college and more playoff games.
Right.
Because Kobe has had the career of somebody who in the last era would have been 36 by now.
That's right.
So I don't know how that plays out. I don't know how it plays out with Duncan. I don't know if, KG, I think his knees have gone. I think he has arthritis, and I think he has structural problems that aren't going to go away.
And so. I think that even though it's the case that with the more playoff games, there's a longer amount of time. There's more days between games.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, they have all these.
Well, this is what I was going to say.
Well, they have all the medical improvements and all that stuff.
Exactly.
I don't really watch that much NBA. Is there any more celebrity birthdays we can look up? Actually, I just Googled Kobe's statistics. According to this, he's played in 948 regular season games and 175 playoff games.
Ooh. So he'll be at 1,200 by the end of this regular season. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of games.
Ugh. I mean, that's, there'll be guys with 15-year careers that didn't play 1,200 games.
He's played 34,531 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, regular season. And then, let's see. They don't
JackO, can you stay on the phone for every podcast I do and just be the Google guy? I think you really found your stride.
Absolutely. He's played 6,888 playoff minutes. It's 40,000 minutes.
That's a lot of minutes.
It's a lot of minutes.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I think all these guys will go at the same time, and then it'll be a big deal. Because structurally, I just don't think you can handle it. I mean, I know just from us getting old, and we're not professional athletes, but your body does change when you're in your 30s. I know now it's tough for me to sit in the couch for as long as I do.
It's tough for you to do back-to-back podcasts.
Yeah, I'm already tired.
Right.
I've already adjusted my seat 10 times. All right, let's go back to baseball quickly.
All right.
So it's going to be Yankees. Looks like Tigers, unless something. I mean, we don't think the Twins can actually do this, right?
I don't think so. No.
What is it,
2.5 now? 3?
How humiliating for the Tigers if that happened.
What if the Twins came back?
Yeah, without more. No, it's like embarrassing. It's embarrassing anyway.
Yeah.
They should have already clinched.
Yeah, it should have been over by now. Especially when they lost, what's his name, Morneau is out. Twins shouldn't have made any kind of run once he went out.
So you're not worried at all about the Tigers? Or are you worried because 3 years ago you weren't worried and then...
Yeah, 2007 I was already making plans for the ALCS party, and the Tigers beat them, and they were like a ridiculous team that was limping to the finish, just like this year. They still have Verlander. If they can run Verlander twice in a 5-game series, potentially, that's a problem. And the Yankees' rotation is a huge question mark. They're counting on A.J. Burnett. He's the key to the whole thing. What kind of run they're going to make. I'm
really worried about the Sox because everybody back home is just penciled in an Angels beating because we always beat them. And I just think it's sports sometimes you can't just assume you're going to win every year against the same team. At some point they're going to...
Just like the Yankees and the Red Sox, the law of averages has to catch up to you eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
I know Mike Scioscia's hoping for that.
Well, can you imagine Fox banking on that Sox-Yankees series again?
Yeah.
And then getting Tigers-Angels? Oh.
Tim McCarver's a professional.
You think he can handle it?
He'll be able to handle whatever comes at him.
I think this is going to be... This will be the year that we average over 4 hours per playoff game.
You know what Fox should do if it goes to Angels Tigers in the ALCS to really screw with Joe Buck? They should bring in Artie Lang as the third guy in the booth, just to completely ruin Joe Buck.
You know, he had his second show.
Really?
This week, and it started out with a cold open of Joe walking on the street and bumping in Artie Lang, and then Artie Lang chasing him.
Oh, really?
You know why they did that? Because Joe Buck, as he was quoted in the media comps, he didn't want to run from the Artie Lang thing. He felt like they had to acknowledge it. Number two.
That bad boy, Joe.
They also removed all the humor, basically. So now it's just a straight sports show again.
On HBO.
I thought it could showcase the wit and humor of Joe Buck. Wasn't that the whole purpose?
Well, they're not showcasing that anymore, Johnny.
Not so much, huh?
Showcasing the serious side now.
I'm so glad I have HBO again now. I can tune in on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah, you got HBO just for Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Well, no, my cable, we just moved in a new house, and we got cable hooked up with some deal where we got free HBO. But it was fortuitous timing because Curb Your Enthusiasm started.
Yeah.
So we got to watch the first episode. A little disappointing, I thought.
Oh, really?
I thought it had good parts, but I don't know. I thought it was a little slow in the beginning.
Yeah, we loved it.
We love Bam Bam Funkhauser. We recorded a pod with Jacoby that's running on Tuesday. We already discussed this, but House and I are so on board with Bam Bam Funkhauser.
Yeah, I enjoyed her performance as well. That was good. I liked when he fainted. The fainting thing at the end was great.
I can't be here anymore. You're serving lies. Bam Bam.
Bam Bam.
It was such a great name. House was saying, we were talking about it yesterday, House was saying that when they were trying to name the character, they were probably at some table and they came up with Bam Bam and all of them keeled over for 10 minutes. It was so funny.
I would have been on the floor. That would have been it for me for the day. The Bam Bam Funkhauser.
Bam Bam Funkhauser.
I mean, they didn't even pretend to associate a real name with her.
No.
There's no hint that it's short for, It
wasn't like Kathy Bam Bam Funkhauser.
Right, or
Bam
Rebecca.
Bam.
So clearly it's leading toward he wants to get Cheryl back, but to get Cheryl back, he has to prove that he has a life outside just being a grump and being in the house all the time, so he convinces the Seinfeld guys to come back.
Right.
That's where we're headed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got to kick the family out of the house, the New Orleans family.
The blacks.
That's right.
He's got to get rid of the blacks. Literally, that's their name.
I know.
Which House and I were discussing. We're very upset because we love J.B. Smoove.
You're right. The guy. What's the guy's name on the show? Leon.
Yeah, can they figure out a way to keep Leon?
I love Leon when he's like, I like to keep it around 82 myself. I like it hot.
How can you say that wasn't a good episode, John?
Yeah, I did like that part. I guess now the more I think about it, it did have a lot of funny stuff in it.
Somebody sent me an awesome email about Entourage and how if you really get caught up in how short the actors are, it transforms the way you watch the show. Because really, E is almost... He's almost Vern Troyer. Like you could cast Vern Troyer at E, and it wouldn't be that significant of a height disadvantage.
Since I have HBO now, I watched a couple episodes of that this week, Entourage, which I'd never really seen before.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who's the lead guy, Adrian Grenier or whatever. I'm not Lee Strasberg. I'm not an acting coach, but he's like really bad actor, isn't he?
Yeah, they've. Well, they finally realized that this season. They've de-emphasized him a lot.
And the guy who's E or whatever is completely implausible in that role as like trying to be like his manager and like a Hollywood player. He looks like he's about 11 years old.
And it might be.
I mean, I don't know. I'm like, really? I really thought the guy who's the lead actor was just awful. He's like really bad.
The emailer was saying that it's fun, anything he's involved with, either the girls that they cast with him or just to watch him next to things like desks or like a bar, like when it kind of puts in perspective.
Inanimate objects. If you measure them against inanimate objects.
Yeah, it's like really hysterically funny. So I'm looking forward to that with the next Entourage. Just watching E compared to the landscape of chairs.
Nice. Maybe they have to use smaller items on the set.
I still can't get over the fact that it took you this long to get HBO again.
Well, I mean, other than Curb Your Enthusiasm, I wasn't all that interested in anything on HBO, really. What am I going to watch? Bill Maher? Come on.
Yeah, he's not really in your wheelhouse. Bill
No.
You know, the show that I knew I was going to instinctively hate, but I hated it 10 times more than I thought I was going to hate it, was Bored to Death.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in that whole... I'm not down with the whole Wes Anderson, that whole kind of too cool for school. It's not really funny, but it's so cool and different that, I just hate that school.
Yeah.
Not down with the school. That show is like, it's allegedly a comedy, but nothing's funny.
Yeah.
But it's so cool, it seems like it's funny.
Like all of his movies, you keep waiting. No, this is riotously funny, and you watch it, and you keep waiting to laugh. And I'm like, am I missing something? What's going on here?
Yeah. You know what's riotously funny is, come on, fat boy! Now that's funny. Bam Bam Funkhauser is funny. I just the Bored to Death school of comedy. I've never been down.
Right, and they don't get away with a self-deprecating name. It was really boring. It was a boring show. So
boring, and it had and you just knew there was going to be a guitar-y type of theme song.
Right.
They're like, hey, dude, we talked to Elliott Smith. We talked to the people on the rights to his albums about maybe doing the theme, but they weren't into it, so we had to get this guy instead. Let's go to a coffee house and write episode 3. Yeah, I'm not down. Too cool for school. No. All right, Johnny. So, how worried are you this week? I'm guessing no.
And not at all, since they've clinched the playoff berth and they're probably going to lock up the AL East in the next couple of days. I'm worried about the playoffs, though. But I guess we can talk about that next time in the playoff preview or something. But I'm not nervous about the AL East.
Well, give me a word for the playoffs.
Like an 8.
That's not very worried.
8 out of 10 is worried.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 is worried.
Yeah, that's worried.
It goes to show.
Yeah,
I don't listen to these podcasts.
No, I'm very worried for the playoffs, and I desperately do not want a Yankees Red Sox ALCS. By the time that's over, I literally will be addicted to heroin. There's no way I can watch that. I just can't.
Yeah, the thought of 40 hours of a 7-game series, just life or death for 8 days at my advancing age, I don't know if I can handle it.
Staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning for a 9-inning game, I can't do it. I just can't.
Yeah, it's not as bad. That's why you need to move to the West Coast, Johnny.
Yeah, exactly. The stress of that will likely kill me. I'm going to have a good OxyContin habit going by the time that series is over. Yeah, see, I'm not quite as nervous because I have the 2 World Series in the last 5 years. But for you, I get it. You've had now a whole decade of losing. And even if the Yankees have a 3-0 lead somehow miraculously in that series, I'm not going to rest comfortably, and I'm going to get 1,000,001 emails from people saying, we got you right where we want you, and they're going to be correct.
Right now, there's an 8-year-old Yankee fan who's wondering if the Yankees are going to win the World Series in their lifetime.
He's wondering what a World Series looks like. Exactly.
He's watching the Reggie Jackson 1977 World Series, saying someday that might happen to me.
Well, I am not rooting for that matchup because of what I know it'll do to each of your respective families, friends, and workplaces. But I am rooting for it because it's about the only thing that make me care about baseball this fall.
Yeah, you and a lot of other people.
I'd be excited for a Phillies-Dodgers series.
Why?
Because there's a lot of elements. I like the Dodgers. I like the stadium, and they have good fans, and the Philly fans are great. And
you have a local interest that way. You could go to the games.
I could, but the Dodgers are legit. They're only 2. I think the most legit fans out here are the Dodger fans and then the UCLA Hoop fans. That's like you're talking generations and generations of
a lot of history.
Yeah. It reminds me of the East Coast alliances.
So many years.
So many years, so many memories.
As Frank Gifford would say.
Whereas the Lakers, I know they have the same kind of history, but it's always been a jump off, jump on type thing. And I was even here in 2005 and 2006 when they weren't as good, and people were out when Shaq was doing well in Miami and the Lakers sucked. Everybody's like, Lakers, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think Dodgers and UCLA hoops are legit, and Dodgers Phillies would be cool. You guys wouldn't watch that?
Yeah, I'd be into that. The Cardinals have a good fan base too. Like when they're in it, that's interesting. I have no interest in the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, I just think there's nothing compelling about the Cardinals.
I guess
Pujols, every Pujols at bat, I guess, but The Cardinals they're like this decade's Braves.
It's a good baseball.
They're kind of always in the. I know, but they're always in the hunt. But they're never. I can't separate any of the years or remember why this year was different than the other year. And they have this like. I don't know.
Yeah, Torrey going back to St. Louis. That'll be a big story there. Not nationally. Nobody cares about that.
I don't know why.
You get Pujols and Tony La Russa's picking his nose. Those are two things.
There you go.
Sort of worth watching.
Saying it's a personal thing for me. I never have found the Cardinals. I think it's La Russa. I've never really liked him. I don't know. I don't want him to succeed. Whereas Phillies Dodgers.
Yeah,
I'm the only one here.
It's okay.
It'd be interesting.
What would be the worst case scenario foursome for Fox? Angels, Tigers, and then
Colorado.
Cardinals, Colorado?
Probably.
With the Colorado Anaheim World Series?
Oh, yeah, that would be the worst. That would be the worst.
Or Colorado.
No, Colorado Detroit would be the worst. Wouldn't it?
No, I think Anaheim has like no national following. People might be into Detroit just because,
Yeah, you're right.
They'd play up the whole, the economy thing, and Detroit's like a downtrodden city, so let's root for Detroit. They'd beat you over the head with that for 2 weeks.
Tulowitzki! Hunter!
Inch!
Have fun. All right, Johnny.
All right, buddy. Have fun. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Talk to you next week. But we'll do a playoff preview next week.
All right, sounds good.
I enjoyed this, Johnny.
Excellent times, Housey. Have fun.
Thanks for being a good wingman, House.
All right,
my pleasure.
Take care, guys.
Enjoy the weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
See ya. Bye-bye.
So I get to sign off. Whoa.
Thank you for downloading the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Pod Center at ESPNradio.com.
Peace out.